Hello, is this
Hello,
Jason?
this is Jason.
Hey, Jason, this is Paul, Outsider Tackle Box radio show and podcast. We have Tommy in the studio with us.
Hey, what's going on, Jason? How you doing, bud?
What's going on, fellas? Good morning. Good morning.
Oh,
Welcome to Fish Story
yeah.
and good morning. Yes,
Yes,
thank you
good
for
morning.
sending in the photos. You sent in quite a
Yeah.
bit, and you had mentioned that the turtle had a good story behind it, so we want to hear those fish stories. The idea behind the show is to spread happiness to the world through the joys of fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And you have quite a bit of them, so we want to hear where you caught the fish, the bait you were using, and the size if you were able to measure it.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
All right,
All
Jason.
right. Well,
Take it away.
all right. Sounds good. Well, actually, the turtle story came from last summer. I took my son and his buddy out fishing. They're both 9 years old at the time, and
Mhm.
we live in the Tri-Cities, Washington.
Oh,
We went
yes.
a little north from Tri-Cities out to just a little pond out in the middle of a farm, in some farming land, and out in that pond they have a lot of panfish and catfish and things like that. And so one weekend we took him out, and we were sitting there fishing, and my son's little buddy, gets a hit on his pole, and he swore he says it was a turtle, and I was like, no, no. So, a couple minutes later, same thing happens, and we reel it in, and in fact, it was a giant red ear slider turtle, like a pet turtle.
Just going around stealing everybody's bait.
Yep, it's hungry. The fish.
Yeah,
Fish gotta eat,
he
turtles
was.
gotta eat.
Right. We pulled him in, and he was about a medium sized dinner plate. We caught him on just a night crawler, just fishing the bottom
Nice.
for crappie and stuff like that.
Nice.
Turtle's a survivor.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, he was quite a big turtle for. I mean, it looked like he used to be a pet turtle, and somebody maybe had thrown him in the pond or
let him loose.
something
Yeah.
like that. But, yeah.
That's awesome, though. I mean, it's still kind of fun. I mean, that's one of the last few things that you expect to catch on
Yeah.
on a hook. It's like, especially like hook them in the mouth and that kind of thing. It's just like,
It's unfortunate. People often do put turtles in like local ponds. I had red-eared turtles myself, and they are pretty messy. If you you have to clean them a lot, and my dad got tired of the smell, and he actually let go of my red-eared turtle in one of the local ponds.
and then your dad realized it was you and not the turtle.
And I came home and my turtles were gone, and I was like, "Where are they?" And he was like, he told me what park they were at, so I would go and feed them.
No, there you go.
They had a bigger home,
Oh, nice.
but you're not supposed to do that, Dad. So
Right.
Oh man, the better part of that story is once his dad found out it was him that smelled. What does dad do with him? He took you to the park.
Right.
All right,
Oh,
so
that's
let's,
awesome.
you got a fishing family in there. It looks like you have quite a bit of people in the photos with you. Are those your children?
Yeah, a couple of those are my children, and then one of them with the turtle was my son's friend. So
Oh, nice. Okay, so that was the catcher of the turtle. That's
yes,
awesome.
yes, he was the catcher of the turtle, and it was quite the interesting day after we caught the turtle.
Nice. So you're up in the Tri-Cities, Washington area. That's cool. So there are a lot of good areas out there to hit, or?
Yeah, we actually have through the Tri-Cities, we got 3 cities connected.
Mm-hmm.
But the Columbia River runs right through it, and then so does the Snake. Actually runs through part of it as well,
Oh, nice.
and the Yakima.
Nice. Yeah, I have.
So we got tons of water to fish.
Yeah, no, I have a personal friend, a close personal friend of mine that lives up in the Tri-Cities area. So he, that's why I was like, oh, what do they got up there? So it's kind of nice to hear where everybody else is fishing up in that area too. I mean,
Right.
I've
right.
actually fished the Columbia River myself, and Tommy loves to hear this this part of the story, I didn't catch anything, and I know there's a ton of fish to catch there. But my brother at the time was living off of the Columbia River, and he wasn't really much of an angler at that point, and so he only had a couple of spoons, and so I was just trying to catch with what he had.
Don't blame it on your brother's tackle. I've been fishing with you many times, sir. There's been many a times where you have been the only one skunked.
Had I known Ryan from Columbia River Hookers,
yeah,
I probably
Ryan's actually a good friend of mine.
Yeah, Ryan's actually really close with us, so it's awesome. We love working with him and Columbia River Hookers and everything that they're doing. So that's awesome. That's a privilege to have him as a close personal friend of yours as well.
Yeah, their mission is quite similar to ours. So we're happy to partner with Ryan and what he's doing over there. Fishing is therapeutic for a lot of people, and
absolutely,
that's what we are trying to do. And so the fish story is a way to spread happiness. So we're thankful to meet somebody like Ryan. I'm actually wearing the hat this morning.
Yes, you are.
In support of, I knew that there was quite a bit of people from the Pacific Northwest this morning, including yourself, and so I'm here in support of what you guys do.
Absolutely.
And I want to give you still your time. I know there's a few other pictures. It looks like you have a good size trout, or no, this is a catfish.
That's a catfish. The whiskers means it's a catfish.
Yes.
Actually, my daughter caught that catfish.
Way to go! That is awesome.
She had caught that one, and it was a good sized catfish. So it gave her a pretty good fight, and it wore her down because she's real dainty, real small, and
well, those
it kind of wore her out a little bit.
Those cats can really put up a fight. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then when you pull them out, they growl at you, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of feels like you've been fighting.
And then I.
What's that?
Right.
Yeah.
No. Then I think another one of the pictures I did submit was a picture of a smallmouth out of the Yakima, and I had actually caught that one on just a plastic worm before I had to go to work that day.
Nice.
Oh, always fun to go fishing right before work.
Yeah, actually, I had a new construction job. We were doing a new construction home, and it was literally right on the river. And so one morning before work, I just took my fishing pole with me and fished for about half an hour before I started work.
Nice. Isn't it great when the stars align like that? When you end up you're like, oh, I got to go to work. Oh, but it's on the river. All right, it's not so bad.
Right.
Let's talk about your setup, because you caught quite a bit of fish, and I'm looking at your setup, and it looks like your catches are quite a bit with a worm or a plastic, and you have a split shot, probably about, would you say, like maybe 2 inches from your hook, and then the bait.
Mhm.
Nice.
So that's quite a, that's, if you're fishing in that area, it looks like that is quite the setup. Because when I went, I didn't know what to use really and what kind of setup. So I was just, it's good for people to know, especially if they want to try a new place to fish.
Yeah. Right.
So Jason has a split shot from 2 inches down the line. He sets up his worm or plastic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Sounds good.
Oh yeah.
Well, perfect. We appreciate the fish story. We love the turtle story, and we love fishing families. And so please continue to send in your photos. We also have a fish story blog, and all we really need to know is the same format as where you caught the fish, the bait you were using. Sometimes it's as easy as 1 or 2 sentences, and then we put it up on the blog. Tommy had his first blog the other day, so we have fun with it. People often think that you have to be a writer. You don't.
No, you can just write whatever you want.
Just write a sentence. I caught this fish, and here's my photo.
Yeah,
that's all we're looking for. And
sometimes it could just be fish facts.
It can be a fish fact.
Fish can't swim backwards.
It's anything really. If somebody would put in a fish joke, I would post it
Right.
because it's good fun, and people like seeing their postings
Oh,
float
yeah.
around, and they get shared quite a bit.
Yeah.
And so we put it up on all of our platforms. And so where are we at now, Tommy? We're on iHeartRadio.
We're on iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, iTunes. We're pretty much anywhere and everywhere if you want to log in. And we're going to be reposting this up later on all of our platforms. So you'll be able to check that out.
We just looked at the numbers, Jason, and 66% of our listeners are from the States. So we have quite a bit of listeners overseas. I'm not sure why. They must like Tommy. I don't know what that's about.
Well, you know, I've always been told I have a face for radio. So I mean,
well,
you know,
we have quite a bit of.
You don't want to put me on TV. The camera adds 10 pounds, and if that's the case, that poor camera. Ooh.
Tommy's wearing a sweatshirt, and he's making me hot. Like, it's just, I can't. There's studio lights pointed at us both, and it makes me.
That's because I'm cold. I was cold outside.
Okay.
So see, whatever. And you were in such a big rush. You get here at 7:53 in the show, or 6:53, and the show starts at 7. Blah blah blah, and so I didn't have time to take my sweatshirt off. Sorry.
Jason, he shows up.
See, here we go, Jason. Now you get to hear
7,
the same story I've been hearing
and Tommy
for the past.
Shows up at 6:59.
6:53, and I was already here before then. I was just outside having a smoke.
And it's just so scary to start a show like that when the co-host is just living his own, like, he's on his own.
Well, because
channel.
I live my life.
You're on your own channel. He's on his own pace. And you just hope that pace follows the radio show time. You're like, I hope he gets here in time. So,
Jason, aren't you glad you answered the phone this morning because you got to hear all of Paul complaining about me? I know I'm glad.
This is Jason's fish story.
Oh, no.
I want to make sure that we gave him his time because he had quite a bit of photos.
Before you went off your rant.
Before we go on our Tommy rant. But Jason, did we give you? It was a good story. I felt
absolutely.
like we were there, and you gave us a good setup for the area that you fish.
I would have jumped in and grabbed the turtle.
And
right.
So we appreciate all that, and we do enjoy seeing kids and families who fish. And so thank you for doing that. But did you have anything else you want to add or say hi to anybody?
Yeah, do some shout outs if you want. You can say hey to your son and
No,
daughter. Okay.
No, I think it's good. I kind of got all my stories out, like I said, guys.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's kind of how I do it up where I'm from. So
yeah, quick and easy, get it done, and like ripping off a Band-Aid, right?
Well, let's say hi to Ryan then.
There you go.
And Columbia River Hookers.
Yeah. Ryan, I know you're listening out there. Jason and I now are gonna come over, and I'm gonna bring the group. I'm gonna bring Felix, and I may bring Paul. But
the only reason he's bringing me is to pay for everything. That's why
that may be the case. That may be the case. I'm not gonna lie.
If there's any instruction at all, he will say, just tell Paul.
We all know that when we get there, the rest of us are going to be the only ones catching anything. You'll just be complaining. Yeah. So be like, we were supposed to be on the boat at 7, and everybody shows up at 6:45.
So the conversation Tommy and I had the other day is he's talking to me and he says, well, why do I need to pay attention when I'm just going to ask you what was said after the fact? So I just figured might as well let you listen.
Jason, am I wrong in that kind of statement? If you've got somebody that always does that and like reiterates to you over and over again, why listen the first time?
It's a lot of pressure.
You're going to hear it about 6 more times after that. Unwillingly, under protest, the other 5.
We'll head out that way. I imagine.
Yeah, we'll try to get something together. We've
3 or 4 months.
We've been talking something about that, so we're going to try to get out there and we'll meet up with you and Ryan and maybe try to get something together. We'll go do some fishing out there and have some fun, drink some beer, have a great time.
Yes. Well, thank you very much, Jason. Please come back on the show anytime.
Yeah.
And we'd love to have you. We want to hear the fish stories, and we love sharing the photos.
Absolutely.
And so, from all of us here at Outsider Tackle Box, fish more.
Tight lines, buddy, and have a great Saturday.
Oh, for sure. Thank you, guys. You guys have a great day.
All right, you too, bud. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.